Sweden at Uddevalla. The circuit's prime at the moment, and obviously beside me is the Kawasaki 2019 model. This year it's a whole new bike, and they've also rebranded it. Notice that they've dropped the F, so it's KX450. The reason for the new brand is because, like I've just said, the bike it's new from the ground up. First impressions of the bike's really good. Just from the moment you sat on the bike, it feels really well balanced, it feels slimmer. It's nice to be riding the bike and feeling the benefits of that bike. That basically you've listened to the guys talk about, the modifications of the bike and what Kawasaki and what their focus and what their direction is. It's nice to feel that on track. Big thumbs up to Kawasaki for 2019. Just to give you an update on some of the bike changes, for 2019 you've got an electric start, you've got a hydraulic clutch, and the air forks are gone. So Kawasaki have listened to what the customers want, and they're providing to their needs, which is brilliant, really. Out on track, one of the main benefits to this bike is riding is obviously the feel. Also as well, the corner speed. The characteristics of the engine are completely different. So now you've got more roll. When you roll off the throttle, there's less drag, so you really do carry your corner speed coming in. That's something that, one of the first things that you notice. The other thing as well is I noticed that my timing, I had to adjust my timing. The bike's really quiet, and I've never over revved it as of yet, never touched the rev limiter. Not once did I ever not have enough power, and now all that's happened is I'm just getting more and more dialed with the bike, and just like I say, just changing my thought process on the bike. And once you get your head around that, which it's not, when I say get your head around, it's not like it's a negative thing or a hard thing to get your head around. It's just that it's new. When something's new, you just need to adjust. But once again, it just surprises me and just really impresses me how easy this bike is to ride, and how good it feels on track. We've talked a little bit about the bike, and now I've got Martin Lambert, PR manager for Kawasaki. Martin knows far more than me at this stage about this bike. So what we're going to do is we're just going to touch base with Martin. He's going to run us through some of the engine changes and take it from there. So Martin, the Kawasaki this year, it's 3.5 brake up over the 2018 model. How did Kawasaki achieve that?
Well, there's lots of things actually, Dave. I mean, the engine itself, there's very little that's the same. So the gearbox is similar, but the crankcases are different. You can see actually here on the cylinder, there's a much more larger area of land, so that the engine is positively mounted, so it's a stress member now. The big change, as you can see, the cylinder head cover here is a change from like a bucket and shim valve adjustment to now the valves are actuated on by finger followers. What that does is it gives you a chance to have a much more aggressive cam profile. It'd be like Blue Peter actually, because I've actually got one I prepared earlier. So this is the camshaft.
So when you say that, so basically, if with buckets, which are now gone, they're elite. The finger followers, then that allows you to have a more aggressive cam. Yeah. So because then obviously there's less chance you can't break a finger, but you can break a bucket. Is that
well,
right?
I mean, look, that's a finger, right? Yeah. So there's a small item, not much pressure on that, but it's also got the advantage of having that non-slip coating treatment. So it's got a tough treatment on it. Okay. If you have a look at the cam, the sheer size of the ramp and the profile means it's a very aggressive profile. You can only really do that with finger followers. That was as a result of MotoGP and World Superbike technology, because a chap called Matsuda-san, he was in charge of that project. So that's one of the most direct benefits of the new engine.
One of the things that I'd noticed is that when you come into turns now, it seems to be there's less engine drag, and the characteristics of the engine have changed quite a bit. Yeah. So are we saying that all of these factors are playing a part into that?
There's a lot going on, and okay, we mentioned the big end there, but the crank itself, the moment of inertia is also different. So what you've got basically is a much smoother torque profile in the low to mid revs, and then you've got all your top end rush. Okay. So what it should mean is from tick over to kind of mid range, very controllable.
So anybody with a 2018 who'd be riding, who'd go out and buy a 2019 would be riding the bike slightly different.
Sure. Well, you've got like a slightly shorter swing arm. You've got a return to coil forks, coil spring forks. The chassis is also different, so there's different bracing around the headstock area. This section here, this rear section and the mounting point for the swing arm, the cross section of this is different. It's hard to see here, but even the base rail of the frame is different. It's a forged section now, and it's like a square section, and it's flatter. Obviously the engine might be a little bit taller, but with that flat section, it still means you can mount the crankshaft centre exactly where you want it to keep that centre of gravity where you need it to
mass
be.
centralisation,
Yeah.
which is key. I mean, also as well, I know that you've got a different linkage now, which is more progressive.
Yeah.
Baseline settings, or when you go straight out onto the track with this bike set up as standard form, you know, you're going to be hard pushed to be quite negative about the bike.
Good.
You know, that's my first impression.
Good.
That said, I have been changing the bike a little bit. I've been changing the suspension settings just down to my personal liking, and just so I can get a little bit more of a push on. But
so, you know, I can talk to you hours about the engine.
Yeah.
I talk to you about the chassis, the new flatter profile of the bodywork, the fact that it's got new hydraulic master cylinder on the front brake, you've got hydraulic clutch, you've got electric start for the first time. So it is a real evolution of the KX, and
Yeah.
it's so much more than you see straight away. There's so much depth to it. There's a lot of customer reaction has gone into this bike, and like, we might be a tiny bit late as far as electric start is concerned, but like, we've got the lightest battery. That's like 410 grams. It's ridiculous. They spin the bike over really hard, so maybe we're a tiny bit late to the party, but actually we're now ahead of the game.
Nice to hear. Well, it's nice to actually, you know, listen to the bike specs, listening to how everything's moved on, and then feeling the benefits of that. And you certainly can feel the benefits of the new 2019 KX450.